Balan Nambiar is a name in the history of Indian sculpture. He has added a new trend, introduced a new genre in the gharana of Indian sculpture. He is a sculptor, painter, photographer, and art researcher. Balan merges modernist with ethnic. Balan's art complies neither with revivalism nor with spiritual Orientalism. Instead, it's all about interpreting the present, in which the tradition survives. Today we will have a session with Balan Nambiar, the great sculptor of India. He will talk to us about his career as a sculptor and painter. Here is more from him.
I belong to a farmer's family. I come from Kerala, in a remote village in southern Kerala, and during my childhood I have been connected with farming, and I used to plough the field till I was almost 18 years. This activity probably is the source or basic principle has influenced my career as an artist. I was fascinated by the line which is created by flowing, and the lines which has a rhythm, which fascinated me in many ways for my creative works. The nature, the rituals, the flower, birds, and the paddy field, and many other vegetations, which are all source of inspiration for my work.
Balan got his diploma in fine arts from Government Art College and Crafts, Madras, in 1971. He is credited with a number of solo exhibitions in the country and abroad, received many prestigious awards like Nehru Fellowship, National Award for Sculpture from Lalit Kala Academy, New Delhi, and Lalit Kala Academy Award from Karnataka State Government, among others.
During my high school days, I never realized or never came to know that there is a career for an artist to live. So I never knew I could actually take up art as a career. However, I was so fascinated by the art that I started thinking about when I got a chance to go to Calicut from my village. There I met a school teacher, drawing teacher, who initiated me to a formal training. That led to becoming an art teacher in a high school. From there, because of my background and interest in mathematics and passing out some examination technical subjects, got a job in the railways. In the railways, I was working as a draftsman. And after 6 years, during this period, I was working in the railways. I was doing a lot of painting and participated in many exhibitions and received several awards. And that really led me, and also because of my keen interest in visiting art exhibition, to get an introduction to K.C.S. Panikar, the principal of College of Arts, who encouraged me and who really advised me to leave railway and study formally art college, where he was the principal. That is the landmark in my career.
So, how for a sculptor, ideas and observations are transformed into forms and get shape and find meanings in a context?
See, for example, this sculpture is one of the finest symbol of my autobiography. And a cactus is one plant which live in a desert or odd situation, and my career is something like that. Another subject is actually growth of a plant or growth of a tree, and that is what is depicted here. And this tree which grows from a solid base and get into a creative form, actually a wide top, and that I made here using symmetrical forms to make rhythmic. Here you can also see probably my interest in mathematics, because you can, from beginning to end, it is controlled by the mathematical principles. And same way there is another sculpture which is here. It's one of my first sculpture I made in stainless steel. This is the first sculpture I ever made in my stainless steel. This is nothing but a rice plant. See, rice plant is nearest to the farmer, and also it is an excellent symbol of growth. It can be even associated to an institution building, because you sow the seed and get see the germination of paddy, and get the next day a blade of grass, and third day or fourth day you will see second blade of grass, and it grows into several, and ultimately it gives the fruit. In Kerala, Mother Goddess shrines, in most cases there are no idols. Instead of that, there is a metal mirror in the sanctum sanctorum, and devotees go to the shrine, look at the image and meditate upon to see God, or reflection, and to see God within. That is, for me, highest form of worship. And this was familiar to me even from my childhood, but it took many years for me to formulate a creative idea, and which led to making this sculpture, which is here. The source of inspiration is here, but this is the recreation of the same image in my most recent work.
He did not compartmentalize his talent in sculpting only. Being an outstanding enamellist in the country, he learned the technique of enamelling from the great Italian maestro Paolo De Poli.
Enamel painting I started, which was a part of a curriculum in College of Arts and Crafts, but I started doing extensively when I started using the studio of my father-in-law, Paolo De Poli, who was considered as the greatest enamel artist of Italy of the last century. Here the enamel is actually something exploring possibilities were shown to me, because earlier I knew that we were using in India less than 10 shades of colors for rings, or wedding rings or ornaments. But here my teacher and my father-in-law, he was using more than 700 colors. And the studio was actually well equipped. The studio was at my disposal to do enamel colors and enamel paintings. I was using more than 400 shades of colors. I think it is one of the finest medium, because among all the creative work in the world of art, enamel is absolutely permanent. It will not, color will not fade, and actually it fuses and it becomes solidified, and I consider it is almost like going through an Agni Pariksha, because it goes through molten stage of liquidification through heat and then re-solidify.
Balan's diverse talents encouraged him to travel other branches of art, like drawing of mask, while he carried out research work on different ritual art forms of the West Coast, namely Teyam, Bhuta, Patayani, Nagamandalam and Titambu Nrittam.
Wearing a mask is the starting point, probably in most of a ritual function where the performer go into a trance. So here, before wearing the mask, one actually worship the mask and then pay obeisance to the mask, then wear it. This is practiced by almost every native culture, not only in India, but Sri Lanka, Thailand, or Indonesia and African countries and Scandinavian countries and Latin American countries. So wearing a mask is a very important thing.
He photographed and documented 27 different ritual art forms of the coastal area. Most of them are first-time photographed.
Well, I have been doing research on ritual performances of Kerala even from long before I started taking photograph. In the beginning, I was going to Kerala to see ritual dances, Kudiyattam and Kathakali for almost 20 years regularly without notebook or camera in my hand. Then chairman of Sangeeta Academy, he asked me to prepare a paper for a conference. And when I was wanting to present a lecture in the conference, I thought I should have some pictures. So I borrowed a camera and started taking photograph. That is how I got involved in the photograph.
Skills in fine art combined with training make sure one's success in wide career choices. These careers include education, even as private teachers, in museums, art conservation, taxidermy, art illustration, even art management in corporates for an arts graduate. Balan Nambiar considers his profession not only challenging but rewarding also.
Now there is so much scope for taking art as a career. It is not inferior to any other subject like medicine or engineering, but art can actually be a professional career. And there is so much scope, there is a lot of money, there is a lot of power, there is a lot of fame and reputation if the particular artist is talented. I would really strongly advise the youngsters who are talented in art to take art seriously and cultivate their talent and expand their wisdom, and by going through a formal training in art and take up a career as an artist.
For Balan, it's a long journey. But could he achieve what he dreamed since his childhood?
When I think about my career for the past 45 years, I think the most important landmark is the leaving of my railway job to take art as a career. Every stage in my life, some or other helped me either by advice or by giving me an opportunity. And the most important thing was giving a lecture at the invitation of Kamala Devi Chattopadhyaya at India International Center way back in 1980. And thereafter, everything went together, or one after the other: State Award, National Award, Senior Fellowship, Nehru Fellowship. All these came one after the other, and it led to me to be absolutely self-sufficient. Self-esteem was actually, helped me to gain my confidence, and I reached to this stage without much of a handicap at any stage.
Balan is really rediscovering his childhood through his art. In most of my paintings and drawings, childhood memories of folk ritual arts from village in northern Kerala surge to the surface and flow into my canvas or paper. Is this not true for his sculpture also?